Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely. In this video, we will show one or more of these icons to alert you when to use caution. Most range repairs require some disassembly of the appliance. Before you attempt this, unplug the power cord. To reach components like the main control board and the element switches, use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the screws, securing the upper rear access panel. Pull the panel down to detach. If you need to remove the control panel, first use a small flathead screwdriver to depress the front locking tabs to release the warm zone switch assembly. Then push the assembly forward. You will need to depress the rear locking tabs to release the bezel and button, and detach the switch. Detach both indicator lights from the light lenses. Push the light lenses from the back to remove them from the panel. Next, remove all of the control knobs. Unthread the mounting screws to release the surface element switches from the panel. Unthread the screws securing the oven control board, and remove the board. Now use a short Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the two screws securing the control panel. You can now lift the panel up from the bottom to remove. If you're installing a new control panel, you will need to transfer the control board mounting bars from the old panel to the new one. Now align the new panel on the side brackets. Thread the screws to secure. Position the control board in the panel, then thread the screws to secure. Properly position the element switches in the panel, and secure the switches with the screws. Realign the control knobs and push them into place. Snap the two indicator light lenses into the front of the control panel. Now slide the lights onto the lenses and snap them into place. Position the warm zone switch in the control panel. Align the button. Then slide on the bezel. Snap the bezel onto the switch and snap the assembly into the panel. Reinstall the upper rear access panel by inserting the tabs under the control panel. Then align the bottom tab with the lower access panel. Replace the screws to secure. To access the surface elements under the main top, open the oven door and use the Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 2 screws securing the main top. Now carefully lift up the top and move it to the side to detach it from the hinges. To remove a surface element, first note the location of the element wires, then disconnect them. Use pliers to help release the element retaining clips so you can remove the element. If you're installing a new element, make sure you transfer the retaining clips from the old element to the new one and confirm that the clips are positioned properly. Now insert the retaining clips into the slots and snap the element into place. Connect the wires to the appropriate terminals. Reinstall the main top by aligning the hinge pins on the hinges. Then lower the top. Thread the screws to secure the top. To reach the bake element terminals and the terminal block, unthread the screws securing the lower rear access panel. Pull the panel down to remove. If you need to replace the bake element, first disconnect the wires from the bake element terminals. Next, open the oven door and lift out the racks. Remove the 2 mounting screws securing the bottom panel. Lift the panel up from the back and push to detach the panel. Unthread the screws securing the bake element to the rear interior panel. Now unthread the screws securing the front mounting bracket. You can now pull the old element free. Install a new bake element by inserting the terminals through the holes in the rear panel. Thread the screws to secure the front mounting bracket. Replace the screw to secure the element to the rear panel. Replace the bottom panel by inserting the front edge first. Position the panel and rethread the 2 screws to secure. Replace the oven racks. Connect the wires to the terminals of the new element. Realign the lower rear access panel by inserting the tabs into the slots. Then push up. Replace the screws to secure. To remove the oven door, use a small flathead screwdriver to help lift up the hinge locks. Then remove the door from the frame. To reach the hinges or door glass, use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the screws, securing the inner door panel to the outer panel. Carefully lift off the inner panel. To replace a hinge, unthread the screws securing the side door glass bracket covering the hinge you're replacing. Lift off the bracket. Now unthread the 3 mounting screws securing the hinge. Pull the old hinge free. Install the new hinge by positioning it on the inner panel. Then thread the screws to secure. Reposition the side bracket and secure it with the screws. Join the inner and outer door panels together and rethread the screws to secure them. Reinstall the door by hooking the hinges onto the frame. Flip the hinge locks down and close the door. With the appliance fully reassembled, plug the power cord back in, and your range should be ready for use.